The month of June's here already, and what can I say? The year's going by super fast. Welcome to Superhits 93.5 Red FM. I'm RJ Angira, and this show is called, Angira's Bathroom. We try to be quirky here and, assign together a bunch of these celebrities. We have people who are influencers, we have people who are out there making, a huge change. And joining me today in my bathroom is singer, composer, Benny Dayal. Hi, what's up?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me over, Angira.
Of course. Thank you so much for connecting with us all the way from the United States. Tell me, what's the weather like back there? How's it going?
It's summer. It's really bright, and it's kind of like 45 degrees over here right now because it's the time where the sun is really warm and hot.
So, is it like Chennai? Does it remind you of Chennai?
No, Chennai is extreme. See, this is not extreme. It's just sunny and hot. But Chennai is like extreme. So that's a big difference between Chennai and any other place.
That is true. Okay. Benny, I don't know if you know this, but you and I have a connect with Chennai per se because I was born and raised there. And I've been part of, you had S5. That was something that you started off with. And I was part of SS as well.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was a VJ there. That's something that we have in common. So I'm going to start off with a bunch of questions. I have something that I want to catch up on. And with, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm just chilling. Okay, let's go.
Okay. So,
it's my position.
Okay. Tell me one thing. You're from Abu Dhabi, and the culture there, the culture in India is really different. I mean, most people who can go on to a Google or whatever and read about you. So I'm not going to ask you that. I'm going to ask you the culture difference, the shock that perhaps you got when you came from Abu Dhabi to India. Is it too different?
See, it's only difference is it's just the extreme amount of luxury in Abu Dhabi and air condition everywhere. That's the only difference, because I was raised by amazing Indian parents, and they taught me and they exposed me to all sorts of Indian cultures. But definitely to experience Indian culture in India is the biggest shock for me, because it was amazing. Like you have space to run around. But definitely, I'm Malayali originally, so a lot of Kerala traditions growing up. We spoke only Malayalam at home. So coming to Kerala every year during vacation, it wasn't a hard thing for me to do. So that way, shocks were quite less, very less shocks in life, but a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
Right. So, talking about this whole transition from one place to another, you are extremely fashionable. And I'm going to say this out loud because you really are. Look at your glasses, man. They're way better than mine, for starters. And otherwise, also seen you in a bunch of places, in public places, otherwise, shows, whatever. You're really very decked up. So, is it Benny Dayal in style, or is it somebody who's dressing Benny Dayal up?
No, I always style myself. I always shop for myself. I style my wife because she likes what I pick. She says like, "Oh, that's nice. How come I didn't think about it?" I said, "Yeah, it's just about finding subtlety and beauty." So I say this to her, and she's like, "So what? Like a lot of people have questioned me in terms of my sexuality and everything because I'm very stylish. Because in India, if you're a little too stylish, then you're off the exactly right. And come on, man. I'm an artist. I'm expressive. People don't get that. So like even in 2008, 2009, when I started my career, I was very tame until then, because I was working in a corporate office and everything. And when I got the opportunity to be an artist, and my work started speaking of itself, and I got to perform, I thought like, what, let's push the boundaries, because this is when you got to do it. And
Why not?
yeah, exactly. And you can set a standard for yourself. Like people should know that's him. But I would say style just came to me through music. So I've always styled myself, and I'm very fond of creating an identity for oneself. So that's exactly how.
And so should it be. I want to ask you, as an artist, somebody who's in the industry and who's prolifically recognized, uh, there are a lot of people who like to keep their marital status, you know, hush hush. But you've been all open about it. You're like, hey, this is what it is. And I've seen a bunch of your
To be honest, when we got married, the entire press was after me because they got some birdie told them that their word, their favorite word, birdie. The birdie told some secret birdie has sung a song to us saying that Benny Dayal is getting married, and they had all the info wrong because I refused to tell them where I was getting married. And at that time,
Right.
I also had my own PR agent. And I told my PR agent, like, we are not going to do this. Like, I really don't want anybody knowing where I'm getting married. But then eventually it came out in the open the moment I had a few very, very famous people in my wedding, a very few, because I didn't invite a lot of them. Lot of my musician friends from Chennai are extremely famous, but like they are like very quiet on social media comparatively in terms of their image and their publicity. But I had it was just because of Vishal Dadlani, who was at my wedding, because he finished the wedding and he was on his way to the airport, and he tweeted a picture of him alongside me and my wife, and that just went viral. And by next morning we were on CNN, IBN, and like the channels that I haven't heard, you know
That's true.
my wife was like, "Are we on CNN, IBN?" I'm like, "Yes, we are on CNN, IBN. Thank you, Vishal Dadlani." So that's where it started. And then slowly Mr. Rahman's tweet happened, and that's where it just went bonkers, the whole thing. And yeah, but
But
people have
but
to.
does it
Yeah, tell me.
but does it change your equation? Sorry, you were saying?
No, I wasn't saying anything. I wasn't saying anything.
Okay. But does that change your equation in terms of, being in the industry? That you're a guy. I mean, it's true. Women love you. They love the music that you make, the art that you could create. So I'm sure you have a lot of fans. Does that?
My fans are mostly music lovers. They don't admire my beauty. They are not hellbent crazy about how I look. I'm
They
not.
shouldn't be so
I'm
sure.
not Arman Malik, who has his Armanians who go crazy and scream through a tweet. But of course, that's love, right? But I'm just saying that I don't have such fans. Like my fans really love me for what I do, and I just want to keep it that way. Like I'm happy. Like I've had another famous musician come to me, like when we were touring. I won't tell this musician's name, but he did come and tell me, like, and he told me, like, Benny, I'm so jealous of you. I was like, why? It's like, why should you be jealous? You have such a huge body of work. He says, like, yeah, I have a huge body of work, but then women come to me, it's like, oh wow, you're so cute, can I take a picture with you? And then you're the guy whom everybody's like, oh man, I loved your performance, man, can I take a picture with you? Like the same girl. So he says, like, I'm so jealous of that. I'm like, deep down, I'm a little jealous that you get what you get. Okay, so it's mutual. And then we just stop the conversation over there.
Well, everybody wants a bite from another person's pie or plate. But
Yeah.
we'll come to that. I'm going to ask you some really simple questions that I've been meaning to ask you actually, as an artist myself. When you have a bunch of interviews that are constantly lined up, people want to know what you're up to, what you're doing. Have you ever had the need to, or had the idea that I'm going to ask the next RJ this question or the next presenter this question? Do you have a question for me? Like, that's something I want to know.
I'm a journalist by education. I did work as a journalist for 6 months. So my question is, why do you guys mostly ask the same questions?
Really? I thought I changed them now. What is
No, no,
this?
no, no. You're amazing. My question goes out to other people, actually. But my question to Angira is, I would say, what are you preparing to ask your guest?
Well, I don't really prepare, but I have this want to know more about the person I'm in conversation with, however little time that I get. So I don't really prepare whatever comes out of my head, but obviously, as professionally, you have to make a bunch of notes or whatever. So
The
you have to
question
sort
is,
these
the question is, if you're not prepared, what happens is, don't you think you build a pattern and then you go with that, and then it becomes muscle memory?
It's happened sometimes, especially in the lockdown. I have to share this with you, Vinny. I'm sweeping the house and suddenly they're like, guys, the interview is, ready, whatever, because all of us are doing whatever in the lockdown. And then I'm just like setting up my hair, sitting there, and I have not prepared. That happened a bunch of times, but I got through, scraped through,
Like I
luckily.
so I did a live concert, and I had a press conference at 4:30 in the evening when I was doing sound check, and everybody came and asked me. One lady comes, she's like, the way you have sung Masakali in Delhi 6 is so amazing. I said, like, Masakali is originally sung by Mohit Chauhan. I think you should do your homework properly. And the whole
What?
and the whole press just erupted. They were laughing. And after that, another guy asked some question. I said, "You are wrong. You also need to prepare." And and they were like, and then they stopped. It's like, okay, we'll do one-on-ones with him.
That's crazy. Wow, that's something.
No,
Okay.
no, no, I do that a lot with my press because, press people. One guy told me the most amazing. This is the most amazing one. I was in Jamshedpur doing a show, and I can speak in Hindi, no, in this
Of
interview.
course, this is a Bollywood station.
Yeah, so he was like, सर आजकल ये रीमिक्स गाने बना रहे हैं आजकल बहुत सारे और आप सब गा रहे हैं तो आपको कैसे लगते हैं इतने बेहुदे गाने आप इतने बेहुदे वर्जन्स आप लोग बनाते हो ऐसे लगा हाँ सर आप फोटोग्राफर हैं कि आप जर्नलिस्ट हैं आस्क्ड हिम लाइक दैट मैं दोनों करता हूँ मैं फोटो भी ले लेता हूँ मैं इंटरव्यू भी करता हूँ अच्छा ठीक है सर आपके पास जो कैमरा है वो डीजी है ना सर डिजिटल कैमरा है ना हाँ है तो आप वो पुराने फिल्म वाले कैमरा क्यों नहीं यूज करते बहुत इतने अच्छे होते हैं सर फोटो ले लेते हैं क्वालिटी इतनी बढ़िया होती है आजकल क्या हो गया ये ऑटो ऑटो वाली ऑटो फ्लैश ले लियो तो सोचे ना गाने भी आगे आगे बढ़ते जा रहे हैं ना टेक्नोलॉजी बढ़ रही है सब कुछ चेंज हो रही है he just kept quiet and everybody all the other elderly journalists from there they were all just clapping because I gave an answer back like that I was like see don't generalize your thought onto something तो
True.
इसीलिए like वापस देना पड़ा and for me like that it just once it itches now you're gone I'm sorry there's something toxic will come from my mouth very very diplomatically so it's like that.
Okay. And talking about these kind of different songs, I remember that sometime around last year, if I'm right, you had Besura that was released. It was a whole lockdown song. I loved it, huh? Personally, I loved it. And I was like, wow, this is one for the team. But on a serious note, I mean, if you do want to give us two lines, it'll be great coming from the
Yeah.
Dayal. But otherwise, tell us a little bit about what made you compose that song, even though we got it in the.
I was frustrated, man. Like I was really frustrated because I was looking at the content, and today morning I was watching this, like it just stumbled upon my YouTube feed today. I was watching AK versus AK. They had a roast session which Tanmay Bhatt was interviewing, and Prashasti Singh is this stand-up comedian. She was from Bangalore and now she's settled in Bombay.
Right.
She's originally from Amethi. And Prashasti Singh, she says, na, kya hai? See, Dolly Singh, I know you have a long, she tells Dolly Singh, she's roasting Dolly Singh, and she's like, Dolly Singh, I know you have a long career going up, like a long career to go. But the thing is, you have to understand that talent expires, but, for talentless people, it can just keep going.
What? Didn't say that.
It was the best roast. It was the best roast. Okay, she said, and I was in splits. And even Anurag Kashyap is in splits in that video. And today morning I stumbled upon this video, and I was there, and like it all connected back to your question of Besura because I'm seeing a lot of. I'm so sorry to say this, but I'm nobody to say this, but there are a lot of talentless people out there. Okay, and kya ho raha hai ki, like they're just putting kuch bhi and they're getting so much following. It is unfair. It's unfair to all the talented people who has been working on their craft, who's been working on their music, who's been working on their art form, and you see someone come and sing something wakra, and it just and can you listen to me? I say, yeah. Like, so someone comes along and just does sing wakra and he gets all the views and all the love because he's talentless. And that is just it's ridiculous to me. It's like absolutely ridiculous to me, and I can't handle that. And I saw so many and so many videos come to me on my DMs from fans. Now that I filtered a lot of that because I don't want to see it anymore. People add like, sir, मैंने कैसे मुझे गाया है, and hope you like this, and I'm like, oh God, kill me. Like, this is such a bad version. It's like, how can you murder a dead body? That's exactly what it is. How can you murder a dead body? It's,
You're so funny. I don't know if people know this about you. You're really funny. Okay. Murder a dead body, but give us two lines of what you conceptualized.
So I considered like I was like, बेसुरा गाता हूँ मैं भी सिंगर हूँ ऐसे गाने आजकल ज्यादा व्यूज लाता है जितना बेसुरा है उतना नेचुरल है लेबल वाले बोलते फील भी ज्यादा है कंपोजर का कोई कीमत नहीं म्यूजिक सीखने से कोई फायदा नहीं गानों में गायकी चाहिए नहीं उस टाइप के गाने आजकल होता नहीं बेसुरा गाता हूँ मैं भी सिंगर हूँ ऐसे गाने आजकल ज्यादा व्यूज लाता है Whatever.
Okay, so Benny, tell me one thing.
Yeah.
If is there any incident in your life, something that you want to go back to and share with us that you've never really shared with anybody else? Because that's the point of the show. Let me
Uh,
be a keeper of your secret.
so I did a show once and the like cops came to my room.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy. What I went for a show, so like a crazy show, okay? It was at a wonderful college uh, in Varanasi. I remember in Varanasi, and I was like 1 year into living in Mumbai. So say 2012 this happened. So I was going for the show and it was coordinated by this so ex-person from some TV channel and he said like हाँ बेटा हाँ मेरा नाम ये है और हम लोग शो करने जा रहे हैं तो हम मैं भी आऊंगा आप सबके साथ शो करने के लिए. It's like okay fine. My manager's like dude this guy talks too much dude like please like not put up with this guy at all. And then he landed over there. We landed and this guy is talking throughout the flight like he didn't take a break. I said, you don't want to sleep? I'm like, that's the question in my head. And like he's not even okay, just kept talking so much. And finally we landed and I told like he asked like beta क्या आप sound check के लिए जाओगे या आप hotel जाओगे? And then my manager he was like Benny we'll do one thing. You go to the hotel. I said, no, I'm going to go for sound check. I smell something real weird. I said, and my instincts never fail me 70% of the time. Okay. 30% of the time I can be wrong. 30% of the time I'm wrong. I'm human. But 70% of the time it never fails me. I felt something wrong. I could smell it. और फिर I said, sir, sound check के लिए जाएं? हाँ ठीक है. And then he said like, sir, and then the sound vendor calls my manager because we worked with the sound vendor before around the cities, And he's like, हाँ सर हम आप बेनीदाल के मैनेजर हैं तो हमने सोचा सर अभी तक हमें कोई साउंड का टेक राइडर नहीं मिला अभी तक. He was like what? we were like he was psyched because he's supposed to be a tech rider. We've given our requirements, इतने सारे amps चाहिए, drum kit चाहिए, stands चाहिए, mics चाहिए. He got nothing. And my manager was like, I sent this guy the tech rider like a month ago when the show was locked. And then he told like, excuse me, sir, can you please check your mail? Did you like send the tech rider to this guy? Because this guy works on email with us. And then we realized he doesn't know how to open the email on his phone. This is that uncle who he knows only how to use one thing, like call off. He's that uncle. And then what happened? We realized we went to the venue. There's a stage, and there is nothing on stage. There's just a stage. And then it became crazy, and the kids started twisting the story. He's not coming for the show. We paid him to come here, and he's not coming and doing the show. And he called the cops, and the cops came to my room. He's like, "Sir, आपका नाम बेनी दयाल है?" हाँ, मैं बेनी दयाल हूँ सर. आप शो क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं? सर शो करूंगा जब स्टेज पे कुछ होगा सर प्लीज आप आइए अंदर. I told him please come inside. He told his constables to wait outside. He came into the room and explained to him, see show होता है तो ऐसा होता है. These kids have not been informed through a particular person whose name I told. He's the reason why this miscommunication has happened. I'm not saying I will not do the show. I can't do the show because there's nothing on stage to do the show. And then in between calls are coming and he said he took the call and he started yelling at those kids. Now the story is changed. But then we eventually did the show the next day. But the cops were in my room. So like they were all like interrogating me for very long. It was crazy.
You're typically a journalist because you gave me the headlines first thing, cops came into my room, and then you gave me the story. So great job with that. Okay. I also have to ask you, for an artist, some things are important. For instance, for somebody, fame is important. For somebody, awards are important. For somebody, just the experience of being able to live and put that music out is important. So for Benny Dayal, what is that? Is it awards? Is it money? Is it fame?
Oh, actually, see, awards is very. I don't care actually, to be very honest. But I will not say I don't like awards. I definitely like awards. Okay, but the thing is that I'm not one many. I'm not one many, to be honest. I have one more love from people for liking my music for what I do. And it might sound like a politician's answer, but it is the truth, because I'm really grateful. That's my thing. Even on my Insta, you'd see my what do you call, my title to my bio is, gratitude is a secret of my success, a secret of my energy, because I'm really grateful. I'm like super grateful I can wake up every day and do music. That's the most important thing for me. But definitely, like, I would say, like, I'm not one enough. I'm not one enough, and I should win more. But it's
Is that
subject.
the goal?
No, I don't aim at that. I'm not even aiming at like winning anymore, because the whole pattern of the film industry is completely changed. So I've really like thrown my hopes away. I've not lost hope. I've just thrown them away, because hopes towards awards get you nothing. So I feel that I just should just stick to making my music and just build that body of work and make it crack that room, and say, oh shit, that's him. Okay.
Benny, I'm going to take you back a couple of years. I remember when I know you through a common friend, and we'd hung out once. And I remember that you were, I mean, everybody's like, oh, Benny, 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 which you handled so well. You were
Where was
cool.
this? Where was this?
Samir's, the link, we were in Chennai radio room. If you remember?
Oh, correct. Yeah, 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 yeah. Of course, I know Samira. Yeah.
Okay, of course. So the question was, you were cool, a school is cucumber. You were handling it all. You were not bothered with all of that. So does that happen a lot with you? And how do you just like horse vision that?
No, I just start becoming like funny, and like you say, you pick a thorn with a thorn. So like, if you're irritating me, then I got to be irritating back at you, right? That's
I love this attitude.
like, there are like, for me, like, my comment sections, like Khushbu, my manager, who's on this call right now, she always says, like, please don't write back to your fans, please don't say anything when they say something. And it's like, really? But they can say, and we have to keep quiet, then they say more. Do you know that? So like, I give it back to my fans sometimes. Like, some people, like, someone was like, for my anniversary, I put a comment. I think Khushbu would have removed that comment, but I let him know my mind. The thing is, he was like, you should, rather than all the scripted stuff, you should just take a guitar and sing a song to your wife. I wrote first. My first script I wrote in the com before I posted. I wrote like, I know I'm a singer, but I don't have to let my wife know that every day. I'm a husband to her, and I need to let her know that every day. So the point is to spend more time and do what she loves more than what I love. And then I wrote that. So if you want, you can wish us happy anniversary. Then I deleted all the top part, and it's like, maybe you can just wish us happy anniversary.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That's hilarious. And the way you say it.
Yeah, so this is how my mind works. So I really want to like abuse the hell out of the person, but and then I realized, abuse nahi karega to kab use karega. That's the thing, right? So
Right. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, Benny, you're just awesome. I'll tell you that, right? But also being awesome brings in a lot of things. For instance, I don't know if people have asked you this question, but if there's one thing Benny Dayal would go back in time and change, what would that be?
I wish I didn't study in college. I wish I studied music. I would have been a much better musician than I'm right now. But my music today, I don't want to change. The reason that I don't want to change my past is also because I've come through a lot of struggle and a lot of hard work, and I felt like if I had it all, I wouldn't have been where I am.
Or you wouldn't have been grateful, perhaps. I think that's the bigger thing.
Grateful, I don't know. But then the thing is, I would have been. I like, see, there is a technical musician, and then there is a soulful musician. I feel I am a soulful musician who's still searching to find soul in technique, that kind of thing. Like
Right.
it's a very it's a too educational as a topic, but I'll just keep it very short. The fact that like if I had learned music, I would have been very judgmental about what I do. But because I was not so educated in music, I did study music, but because I didn't study music further, and I just was thrown into the pool and asked to swim, and learn to float and learn to swim out of the thing and come back on shore. It really made me what do you call, a person who actually believed in more instincts than knowledge.
Right. And with that, I'm going to also ask you, if you had to give your younger self an advice, what would Benny Dayal do? What would you say to yourself, younger self?
I would say, what would I say to myself? I would say you should have cut your hair as soon as you join college, because you would have had hair by now. Because the first year I joined college, within the end of the halfway through the first year, I started losing so much hair because I refused to cut my hair, because I was very particular about my existing hairstyle, because my old barber had changed from Abu Dhabi to Chennai. So I thought someone's gonna screw my hair up. I should have actually just shaved it all off then and there. So I still would have had hair today, which I didn't, because of which I lost all my hair. So that's my only advice to the kid.
But I think you look really nice and you can carry this off.
Yeah,
Benny,
say that to myself too. Okay.
you have been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. But before I let you go, all the listeners, all the viewers who are watching and hearing this interview at the moment, do you have a message for them, given the fact that we're in the midst of a pandemic, and who better?
I want to say, Abe, can I say it like that?
Yes.
To everybody who's listening, thoda sharam karo yaar sab log. Even now, you guys refuse. Those guys who don't wear mask, who's driving their car right now wearing the mask below their nose, thinking that nothing's gonna happen to them, wear your mask. Okay, spitting on the roads, peeing on the roads. This is why India is not being able to come out of this pandemic, man. Thoda sharam karo. Wear the mask. Please think about what you guys do. Okay? And don't take things for granted. Ha, sab theek ho gaya, main bahar ja sakta hu. Get out. But be responsible, man. That's the most important thing. Nobody cares if you want to go to a friend's house for party. You're going to come back with something and give it to someone else, if not for yourself. So please be careful. And one more thing is, I know vaccinations are very hard to get, but please register and keep your slot so that it can fall into place at some point and you can get vaccinated. So yeah, sharam karo.
Okay, and with that message, again, as we keep reiterating to you guys, keep washing your hands as much as you can, wear your masks, double it up like the experts say, and most importantly, ये दोस्ती यारी का टाइम नहीं है, दोस्तों से दूर रहो, लोगों से दूर रहो, maintain social distancing.
दोस्ती रखो, लेकिन यारी थोड़ा दूर से.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys like this video and the interview. Benny, like, share, and comment this video. And thank you so much for joining us. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Benny. We had an absolutely lovely time. And you take care. We'll see you soon. And next time you're in Chennai or Bangalore, please give me a call. We will catch up. All right. Okay. On that note, Super Hits 93.5 Red FM 3, 2, 1.
बजाते रहो.
Red FM 93.5